So once upon a time there was this magician who decided that she wanted to read more books. I'm not gonna name any names, Caroline Ravn. So she decided that she wanted to read more books, so she reached out to another magician who she knew reads a lot of books too. So they joined forces and decided to create a magician's book club. Unfortunately though, this magician's book club was in Swedish, meaning not many people wanted to join. Well, actually they did want to join, but they couldn't because they didn't speak the language. So what does this magician do when she knows there's a demand for something and she's like, yeah, I got something that people want, you know? All jokes aside, if we're just meeting, my name is Caroline Ravn. I'm a full-time magician and YouTuber. So last year I decided to read more magic books because I mean, who doesn't want to read more magic books? So what I did was that I reached out to a friend. We created a magician's book club in Swedish. I started posting these like behind the scenes of me reading and creating the meetings and all of that on my social media. People reached out to me asking how they could join. But the problem was that we decided to do this in Swedish and there are not that many Swedish magicians. So after I tried to run a book club online, I knew what worked and what didn't work, and I understood the benefits and the what is wrong with Zoom, you know, all of that stuff. And I decided to just ask people, would you like to join my book club? I'm gonna start the first week of January. Under a day, I had almost 200 people sign up for this magic book club. So I wanted to talk to you about what it is, because I get a lot of questions like, how do you join? What is it? Do you have to have all the books? You know, all of that stuff. How much does it cost to be part of this? And let's start with that one. It doesn't cost you anything to be part of the Magician's Book Club because, you know, it's great. We meet every Sunday at 7 p.m. Swedish time. So if you're ever wondering if you're uncertain what time we're meeting on the Sunday, it is whatever time it is currently in Stockholm, Sweden. We're currently in CEST, which is Central Europe summertime, but as soon as summertime ends, we're gonna go back to CET, which is Central Europe time, okay? Might sound confusing, it really isn't. I send out weekly emails so you can follow along with which time it is, if there's a link that you need to check out and stuff like that. So, that said, so what do you need to do? You have to send me an email to themagiciansbookclub@gmail.com, and by giving me your email address, I will send you weekly emails with the Zoom links, what you need, which pages we're gonna cover, and all of that stuff. You do not have to enter every time. You don't have to be there every Sunday if you don't want to. You don't even have to own the book that we're talking about, because of course I want to talk about the books, but I also want to talk about the things around the books. So one of the books that we actually just finished reading was Maximum Entertainment. That is one of my absolute favorite books to read. I come back to it every year, actually. It's one of those books that, you know, every time you read it, something new gets to you. Like it changes all the time, but first time I read it, it really changed everything about my business. So we talked about that book. So every book that we read, we split in fours. So we read one book a month, basically. The book we're currently reading is Stage by Stage by John Graham. This book I got quite recently, and if you haven't seen the video of the new books that I got, I'm gonna leave a link to that right up here as well. So this book I've been really interested in reading for a long time. Ever since I heard it came out, I was like super duper excited because I hadn't heard anything about this magician, which made it even more intriguing because the things that I heard about it was like, what is going on right now? I haven't started reading it yet as I'm recording this, but I'm really excited to start digging into what it actually is. Well, that's not true. I actually read I read like 25 or something pages right when I had my babies. So if you don't know, I just had twins and they're like super duper cute. So take a look at these. So we're gonna read this now, and also John is gonna join us in one of the sessions because that's something that I really enjoy doing after or during the times that we're reading the books. I want to invite the authors, if possible, to talk. Well, obviously that wasn't possible when we were talking about, you know, the books of wonder or when we're talking about Tarbell, but you know, I tried my best. If you want to know more about what the books that we're reading, if you want to read quotes from the books, if you want to see behind the scenes, I highly recommend you to join our Facebook group, but also follow us on Instagram. I'm gonna leave all of the links that you need in the description box below so you don't have to write anything down or anything. Before I continue though, which is your favorite magic book? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you're getting any value of this, you know what to do. The first book that we read was Tarbell Course in Magic, and as you can see, I have taken loads of notes from this book. And these blue ones are the chapters that we were covering, how we divided the book. I think this was actually 5 sessions because it was so long. And all of these are things that I wanted to talk about because the meetings, they start with me opening the meeting. I say, hey, welcome, how are you? And you know, all of that.
Nice and fluffy stuff.
Then I start asking questions. So I spent a lot of time not only reading the books, but also thinking about the topics that we can talk about. And I really tried to think about something that can add value. So one of the reasons that I chose to do Tarbell Course in Magic Volume 1 as the first book was that, one, it is so old that it is now copyright free. Is that how you say it in English? So you can find it online for free. That is also the book that we did in the Swedish Magic book club thing that we did. The second book we talked about was How Magicians Think, and this was So valuable. If you haven't read this book yet, it's not really for magicians though. It's more for lay people who wants to understand some theory behind magic and some, I'm not gonna give away too much. It has 52 chapters, which is, you know, very, very clever. Josh is such a nice writer too. The book covers things like why magic, what is magic, what happens if a magician reveals a secret, and what is the magic castle? Because those are things that you might want to know. So when we had read that book, we actually had Josh be part of the conversation as well. So I invited him to come on, we talked for a bit, and it was actually quite a lot of fun. The book after that was this book right here by Andy Gladwin. This is called The Boy Who Cried Magic. This was also very, very good, because something that I want to do for the book club, I want there not only to be card magic books or theory magic books or old books or new books. I want there to be a mix too, because some books you will own, some books you will have to purchase, and some books you will, you know, want to skip. But this book is new, so I hadn't heard that many things about it, but the things I had heard was that the card tricks were absolutely amazing. I don't remember what it was called. Let me double check what it was called. The Master Push-Off. That's something that a lot of people have been talking about. So I was very curious to read what the heck that was all about. Of course, Andy joined us as well because he's a friend and he owes me. He knows why. After that, we went into more of a classic book. We talked about the Books of Wonder Volume 1. So something that people have been asking me is, why do you only do one volume? Like the Tarbell, why do you only do one? Why don't you continue with the rest? Same thing with Books of Wonder. But because I want there to be, as I said, I want there to be some theory, some practical stuff, tricks, and some stage and some close-up, you know, all of that stuff. Both Tarbell and the second volume of Books of Wonder is going to be part of the book club as well. The last book that we finished was Maximum Entertainment. I chose 2.0 because someone you know is mentioned in the book. I wonder who that could be. I do wonder, who might that be? It's mentioned in the book, which is crazy, but so fun. Ken is a friend. He joined us for a Zoom meeting and we had so much fun.
So I'm not going to answer your question right away. Okay. I said, what I would like to do is to interview Caroline.
Oh, no way.
Meaning, well, you told me you read the book 8 or 9 or 10 times, or probably 6, but we'll go with 10.
He didn't want to answer my questions, so he started asking questions to me. It was so much fun. Thank you, Ken, for joining us. It was so fun. I wanted to share something with you guys here. I have different systems for when I read books, obviously. But one of the things, since I come back to this book every year, I do, you know, some people have dog ears up here, but I choose to have them down here when it's things that I want to change in my own business, or if it's things that I need to up my game on. So one of these things was like a simple thing that I never thought about when it comes to my rider that I send out every time. One of the other things was a thing that I wanted to buy. If you don't want to have dog ears like only up here, like where you are, or maybe you don't even like to do this, I write in my books because I'm terrible. I do the dog ears down here, then I know, like I can bend them back up when I've sorted what I wanted to, and just by glancing at this, I'm thinking maybe there's like 30 things from last time, well this time actually, that I read this book that I need to change because I learned 30 more things. I'm just guessing it's 30, it might be 25 actually. And as I said, we're currently reading Stage by Stage, which is so exciting. And next book after that is gonna be back to Tarbell Course in Magic, Volume 2. I've read Tarbell for years, but not really, you know, cover to cover, but now I've decided to do so. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be more trick-based, of course. I might not practice, you know, the cigarette magic part so much. And something that I've been thinking about to add to the book club, let me know in the comments if you think this is a good idea. I want there to be not only we talk about the books, I want people to bring out something, bring out is the wrong word. I want them to make it practical, the things that we learn and the tricks that we learn and the things that we do and things that we talk about. So I was thinking maybe we could have like a contest or a open mic night kind of thing, but online, where people can actually put to use the things that we learned in the books. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea, and what kind of contest or open stage thing you would like to see when it comes to this. Maybe we should even invite people to come see it even though they're not members. And speaking of things that I've done for the club is that I created a logo, which I really like, and also opened up for people to buy it as a t-shirt if they want, because why not? Because the logo is amazing. Who doesn't want that on a hoodie or a t-shirt? I'm just saying. After Tarbell, we're gonna go right into another classic. This is The Magic and Showmanship, a handbook for conjurers by Henning Nums. And actually, I have never read this book, but a lot of people compare this one to, even though this is old, to Maximum Entertainment. So that's gonna be very interesting to see. This contains tricks as well. So I'm gonna see what that's all about because I've never read this book before and I know it's old. Originally published 1969. That's a long time. That's a long, long time. So obviously a lot of things have changed, but I think it's gonna be a good read. And a lot of people have this book, so I'm excited for that. After we've done that, we're gonna go back into Tommy Wonder's Magical World, if you may. This I'm really excited about too, because actually, I have never read Volume 2. I have read Volume 1 3 times, I believe, but never made it to Volume 2 for some reason. But now, I have no excuse. Well, I could just, I could just quit the group, I could just say no more Magic Book Club, but no. No, it's so much fun, so much fun. After that, we're gonna be reading the Bloomberg Laboratories. And Bloomberg Laboratories is written by Andy Gladwin, and it's signed by Mr. Bloomberg himself. I have never read this book either, but I know a lot of people have been inspired. This is a card tricks book, if you don't know. A lot of people have been excited and inspired by this book, and I even know that there's a YouTube channel. I don't know which one this is. If you know, let me know in the comments. Someone have a YouTube channel where they only do tricks from the book, or theories from the book. I can't remember where I saw this though. It was a great idea. So those are the books that we currently have scheduled. Of course, there's coming out new books all the time, and let me see, it's so heavy. Okay, I need to go back to the gym. Did I say that out loud? Some of the other books that I brought out that I wanted to start reading soon. This one I've read twice. The Darkest Corner by Ben Hart. Great book. Not everyone agrees, but great book. And I would like to read Scripting Magic, because who doesn't want to be better at scripting their magic? Another new one, Before We Begin by Assie Winged. Distilled, I'm really excited to read one day. I haven't gotten to that yet. And 2 classics, Expert Card Technique and The Royal Road to Card Magic. Also books that I believe most people will have in their collection if they collect books. And something that I would think would be fun to talk about, because most of the stuff in there we know, because we know the paths, we know center deal, we know all of that stuff, but we don't necessarily know how to do it, and we don't practice how to do it. And I'm not telling you to practice all the things that we do. I want you to read it though, take it in and digest it, and then see what you would like to do with, your time and basically your life. So that is all I wanted to say for now about the Magician's Book Club. You are more than welcome to join us, even though you're not a magician, or you only do stage, or you only do cards, or you're just a mentalist, or whatever you want to call yourself. You're more than welcome to join us. As I said, you just email me at themagiciansbookclub@gmail.com. It's down here as well. Just email me, let me know you want to join, and I will let you into the warmth and make sure that you get the emails every week with the Zoom link necessary. I also included a link to where you can find Stage by Stage and a couple of the other books. So I hope to see you on Zoom and on my Facebook group and in the Instagram. All right, see you next time. Bye!